You're spoiling me with all this godly OST you're constantly giving me every single episode. That ending theme to the beginning of the episode, like, jeez, you're spoiling me right now. Like, I have already said how much I love that godlike music. Like, oh my god! Like, oh my god! Like, oh my god! Like, I've already said how much I fucking love that music. But then you give it to me some more in this episode, that beginning to the Impure King just breaking out. And when you see the fucking music at the end, or hear the music at the end, you just see fucking Rin going in. He's in his demon form, episode cliffhangers, which, fuck. But still, oh my god, the music is so... Oh my god, I have missed that Blue Exorcist music. I have really missed it. Just hearing it is just, Okay, so, before I get into Rin and Bond and all that, I want to talk about Todo and Yukio first. So, Todo and Yukio's fight continues, obviously, in this episode, and after thinking about it, I started questioning something. What is Todo trying to accomplish? What is his objective? I mean, he wanted, you know, the Phoenix, but what's his objective? I mean, overall, looking at what he's doing in this fight with Yukio, there's something off here. Like, what is he really trying to do? Because throughout the fight, he was constantly testing himself. He was trying to learn from his experience of fighting Yukio, seeing how he can improve himself and be better. And I really like that about his character. Todo trying to see how he can become better at fighting and using his power and being a demon or whatever. I enjoy that aspect of his character and the way he was displaying that throughout this episode. But I was constantly thinking, what is he trying to accomplish? What is his end game here? Because Impure King already activated, you know, the leader and all that, the master, pretty much down for the count. You know, everything's kind of looking grim overall until, you know, Rin popped up at the end of the episode and unleashed his demon blue flames. So the question is what is Todo trying to do? What is he accomplishing right now? I mean, as I already said, he's kind of fucking with Yukio, kind of entering his mind and just getting under his skin and just fucking around with him. But overall, what is he trying to accomplish? So that is something that just, you know, came into my mind while watching this episode. Regardless of that, though, Todo, damn, Todo is strong. Like, this man, this man is fucking crazy. Like, this man's constantly getting hurt. He's regenerating from every bit of damage that's constantly sent his way. But then, on top of that, once Yukio manages to figure out a plan and use, like, actual science to take this man down, you know, just making his body into, like, ash, and then eventually it seemed like he was dead because he couldn't regenerate right now because he's just ash. I'm like, damn, like, that's crazy. But then he started actually, you know, moving his ash around and just, you know, throwing at everybody else around Yukio. I'm like, what the fuck? This man is absolutely insane. So, Todo is surprising me with how durable he is. I mean, I knew he was going to be durable because he had the Phoenix inside him and he could regenerate and stuff like that. But to be able to continue fighting after being just ash, you're just a fucking pile of ash and you're still moving around and shit, that's impressive. So, I'm kind of curious, like I said, with this man's endgame, because him to go this far, and him to be able to survive something like that, obviously the writer of the series has a very big thing planned for this character. Like, Todo has something very big for the future of the series. Like, there's something he's gonna do, and he's gonna play a part in, for him to still be alive after all of the shit that has happened to him in this episode alone. So curious, I'm very curious to see where the writer wants to take Todo's character. So Yukio, though. Yukio, as I've already covered, he's in a spot right now to where something really bad can happen to him. He might go too far, because he now knows something was happening to his eyes. Like, his eyes changed color, he had, like, the blue flames in his eye, and as I said, I fucking fangasmed last week. That shit was really, really fucking hype. I'm like, yo, that is, like, fucking hype! And with this, Yukio questions, like, how do my eyes look and all that? Does my eyes look normal? And it looked normal to us, the viewer, when we were actually watching this episode, but I feel like this is going to be a big plot point for his character, him trying to figure out how to bring back out these eyes, because we do know he has kind of a complex and stuff, and also we do know that he can't use, you know, flames or anything like what Rin can do, and with him now knowing that he possesses something like this, I feel like he's going to try to tap into that and figure out how he can use that ability. ability in the future, which might lead him to having a lot of problems or a conflict in the future to where the organization doesn't really like him at all because he's trying to use these blue flames. So there's probably going to be a lot of problems in the future of Yukio's character because of what is happening here in this fight with Todo. So yeah, a lot of potential. And I feel like, overall, that this is just a precursor to whatever may come into the future. I mean, for Todo and also Yukio, because of the potential that was set up with this fight. The eyes to Todo's endgame and him being able to survive this, it just makes me question what's going to happen with these two characters. So, moving on to Rin and Ban. The Rin and Ban scene, very sweet scene. And it's such a great scene just to see that one segment when Ban was like, I want to trust in you. And he took down the barrier and all that. And he just, you know, is like, I'm not going to protect myself. He's like, I believe in you. I believe you'll keep me safe. And as soon as he did that, though, Rin was just giving a speech and all that. He's like, you gotta show me the tower. You really gotta show me the tower once all this is done. Like, tomorrow, you gotta take me. And the way this interaction is, I gotta admit, it's pretty cliche. Like, it's a shonen cliche, just seeing the way Rin was acting. But overall, I love how Rin is like he is. And it just works because of the type of character he is, of how he's been frightened, how he's scared. But on top of that, how he's constantly been trying to overcome the problem which is within himself, and he's terrified of himself. I love the way he acted in this episode. And like I said, it's something you would see typically in a shonen, but I felt like the way the writer displayed this, you know, entire combo between Ban and Rin was a very tasteful, like, combo between these characters. It didn't feel out of place, it didn't feel forced. When you had this conversation to kind of allow Rin to use his abilities, his blue flames, it didn't feel like it was completely out of place because of all the setup for this very moment, with Rin finally gaining the determination to use his blue flames again. And so after all these episodes with him fighting within himself, being scared, he's shaking constantly, when you see that reveal when he opens up his sword, you're like, finally, he did it. And it just makes the scene so much more badass because of how long we've been waiting. The anticipation for him to overcome the fear which is within himself. Now, we gotta admit, though, with the information we gained from this episode, it's not really revealed what really caused the sword to open. I'm assuming it's because of how Ban believed in him, and then he was like, I'm happy you believe in me, and he was able to believe in himself or something. I'm assuming something like that happened, is why he was able to open up his sword in the first place. But it wasn't really explained what really caused it, but that's my assumption right there. And I do like how it was presented, though. Like I said, even though a lot of the ways that was handled was very shonen, it was done in a way that didn't feel like shit writing. It wasn't shit writing. So, well done, Blue Exorcist Season 2 for that. So, the Impure King. My overall thoughts on the design. The man's a giant fucking caterpillar that looks like something out of Diablo. I mean, if you ever played the games Diablo 1, 2, or 3, you'll tell me right now, or you cannot tell me that that creature does not look like something out of fucking Diablo. Like, that man looks straight up out of Diablo. I'm like, whoa! Like, that is a Diablo! Like, that's like a fucking demon and shit you would see in the game Diablo. I'm like, okay, I see you. I see you. But yeah, the design of the Impure King, it's like a big mutant caterpillar looking thing. I'm like, that's kind of creepy, but pretty badass at the same time. And I gotta say that I'm pretty excited to see how Rin's gonna take this man down in next week's episode, because there's a lot of hype that's been centered around Rin and him being able to control his blue flames, but also the Impure King as well. So can't wait to see where that's gonna go. So anyways, tell me your thoughts on this week's episode of Blue Exorcist. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Please be honest in the comments below, and I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.